theirs is a cute and adorable but often misunderstood culture. But make no mistake, if you fuck with them, they'll come for your ass. We watched Furry Nights. We watch it so you don't have to, so you know what time it is.
Horror, so bad it's scary. Splitting up is never okay. Plot, who needs it? Don't turn on the lights. Cars don't ever start, but that's alright. Running upstairs instead of out the door. Good acting, what do we need that for? Horrible horror, so bad it's scary. Enjoy the show, but not really.
What's up, Moongoons? We're back, motherfuckers! Welcome to the Horrible Horror Podcast, the podcast where we watch the worst of the worst in horror movies. I'm your host, Mr. Marshall Hampton. With me is my co-host, Mr. Aaron Southworth. Aaron, it is so good to be back in the studio with you.
It is so sweet, like moist meat. Yeah, man, I'm happy to be back. Got to kick off a little bit of rust. Got been delayed baby stuff, mostly my baby stuff, but we're finding our groove. We're getting our baby thing down. So yeah, Everly is fitting in nicely to the lifestyle.
All right.
It took a little bit of time though.
Took a bit. Yeah. I mean, yeah, who would have guessed having a baby would make,
throw your schedule off.
Yeah. Who knew? So yeah, we're back, guys. Sorry, for you guys who stuck with us through this little hiatus, we appreciate. Hopefully you're still around.
And thanks to the listeners. I know I posted something on social media, and also my social media presence has been like nil.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, for this last month and a half, again, I apologize, but I'm back on it, baby. We're back, baby. We're back. Yeah, so I'll be posting more frequently.
I almost did a Chris Berman thing, but I realized
Thank God.
Then I reminded myself how much I hate Chris Berman.
You've done that more than once. I've done it
at least once. I know once. I
know it's more than once. Thank you for sparing us. But yeah, it's good to be back doing this little podcast we call Horrible Horror. We watch the worst and the worst in horror movies so bad they're scary.
That's right.
Yeah, and you can listen to us on iTunes.
We haven't done that one in a long time.
But fuck it, I'm not even going to say it. You can hear us on all the places.
Yeah.
What we want you to do is tell a friend. Check out our social media. We're on all the places. Fuck.
Yeah. Anyway, it is now. We had a lot planned, but obviously Blake messed a lot of things up with our schedule. So. But this week, we're back. We're doing Furry Nights. This little independent gem was released on November 30th of 2016. Written and directed by Mr. J. Zachary Thurman. And you can find it on Amazon, Tubi, and apparently iTunes. Now, the cast, no one we're going to even talk about. Nobody.
All newbies.
All newbies. They've done maybe one or two things, like a few other the Zach Thurman movies, but... they're all pretty much nobody you're going to recognize or have anything that is worth noting that nobody's going to know of. So we're going to skip all that. Let me skip. Where's those are for later. And
we're kicking off some rust here.
Yeah, got to kick off the rust. So right into the movie we're going.
Damn.
We open in the woods.
We're bunny hopping in.
We're bunny hopping right in. So we're in the woods with this older man is out hunting. And he spots an animal drinking from a creek. You see a furry head, there's this cute little animal drinking from a creek. And the man raises the rifle, takes aim, shoots, kills the animal, shoots him in the head. But when he goes to gather his kill, he finds out that he has accidentally shot a person dressed up as an animal. He shot a furry. And then that's when we hear the sounds of a dog/wolf howling echoing throughout the woods. And then it just cuts to later that night. The hunter's running through the woods. He's being chased by something that we don't see yet.
Yeah, it looks like he's abandoned his gun. He looks like he's running for his life.
Yes. We hear all these various animal sounds all around him in the darkness.
And weird cackling and laughing.
It's weird shit. The hunter falls against a tree, and this is where we see he's been injured, and he's bleeding from a wound on his side. We don't know how it got there, but he's bleeding from the side. He falls to the ground, and he starts to get pulled off the screen, and he grabs hold of this tree trunk, which allows him to briefly escape his attacker. So he runs for this ladder that's supposed to lead up to a hunter's perch It's one of these hunter perches
Like
things.
a tree stand?
Yeah, it's a tree stand. And he starts to climb it up, but again, he gets grabbed, and this time he's unable to wiggle free, and he gets dragged off and pulled off the screen.
Screaming,
and that's it. And then we just jump ahead in time.
Now, really quick about that scene.
Yeah.
There was something kind of interesting when they were showing the animal head drinking from the stream.
Yes.
He took the shot, he lines up, boom, pow, there's a blood splatter on the screen.
Yeah.
And then it stays there.
I was going to try to brief off, but I hated that. Like, we've seen blood splatter on the screen before. I'm like, okay, that's fine effect.
Yeah.
But then it cuts away to something, and you're fine. Like the camera, it's like becomes like this panning, long angle shot of the camera moving through the woods as the hunter comes down, and the blood splatter is like taking up like 3/4 of the bottom quarter of the screen and more. It's so shitty. Honestly,
I was kind of
I hated it.
Ooh, I didn't like that either. I thought if it was like the POV of the thing that was shot, but it wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
That might make a little bit more sense.
Yeah,
but I was like, I was like, that's a weird choice.
Yeah, first the blood splatter first fine, you see all the time, no big deal.
Sure.
But when you leave it linger there on the camera for that long, it's like.
It's distracting.
It's really distracting, and I hated it. I hated that decision.
Yeah.
So we jump ahead in time. We don't know how much. It's just we jump ahead, and we meet two of our main characters, Maddie and Jack, who are out in the woods to meet up with the rest of our main cast to shoot Jack's student film. Maddie and Jack have come across the bloody, now knocked over hunter's perch, that ladder that we just saw.
They're kind of poking at it.
They're poking at it. Maddie makes a really weird decision where she decides to taste the still wet blood.
Because he's like, it's got to be blood. It's got to be blood. Look at it. And
so she wipes it on her finger.
That's not blood. She goes, well, taste it. She's zoop. Okay. He just does it. She goes, yeah, that might be blood.
Yeah, she puts it on her finger and licks around. Yep, that's blood. I'm like, what? Who? Huh?
So calmly.
So, like, no way no way would do that.
It's like, bitch, you got AIDS.
Yeah, you got AIDS now. There you go. So up come three more of our main group. We have Mark, we find out is the track star, the jock. Hannah and Jessica, the two blonde girls. Maddie's got black hair. And we're waiting for the last member of their group, Brian, to show up. But while they wait, Jack wants to start shooting some shots. They're like, let's get some quick scenes done here.
Yeah, so they're in the woods to film, I guess, a horror movie or something.
Yeah, it's like his swamp monster creature feature.
How old do you think these jokers are?
Well, I mean, they're supposed to be college. I
guess it's like early college.
Yeah,
because I couldn't tell if they were high school or college.
I never thought high school. I thought college, like probably sophomores. I'd say sophomore juniors, at least sophomores.
The reason I said that is because the quote-unquote track star just looked like a normal guy.
Yeah.
Have you seen collegiate track stars? They're fucking ripped. Like,
the shot put guys are. Maybe he's a runner. You know, maybe he's a cross-country runner, and they're all as lean as svelte. So
maybe. But he talked about how fast he was.
Yeah, which, again, so he'd be a runner. He's not going to be all bulked up with muscles.
Sprinters are fucking jacked also.
Maybe he's not a very good sprinter.
Fair. Maybe it's a small school.
He is a white dude, by the way. Brian shows up wearing his green screen bodysuit for his special effects, and a green swamp monster latex mask.
Yeah.
And he scares Jessica, and he's like, ah, and it's stupid, but whatever.
So we have all of our cast.
Everybody's together now, and this leads to a rather long montage of the group shooting various scenes of their movie and then various shenanigans. And let me check. I should have said this at the very beginning. This movie is not long. It's like maybe an hour or 10 minutes.
Yeah, and that's being generous. It's probably the beginning credits were long.
Yeah,
and the end credits were long. It's probably about an hour.
Because
it's an hour 12, so it's just a little over an hour.
Yeah, just a little over an hour. And we spent about a good 5 minutes or more maybe on this montage. For how short this movie is, it's a lot of the film on this montage.
So yeah, it's like 1/12 of the movie.
So while they're out filming one of the night's fall, and they're out filming a night scene, Jack spots a small campfire across the lake, along with a group of furries that are partying it up, man.
They are partying.
They are dancing around the fire. They're drinking. They're just letting loose. They are having a furry fuck fest. Who knows?
So let's just stop for a second. I know the majority of our listeners are going to know what a furry is, but there may be a few who don't or don't quite get it.
Yeah.
So just to back it up and let you guys know, a furry is a person or people who dress like in these almost like mascot costumes. They dress like
animals.
Yeah,
Elaborate animal
They
costumes.
dress like a kangaroo. They dress like a rabbit. They dress like a dog. They
Bears,
dress like a wolf.
any animal, dog, any animal imaginable.
Cats are very and they often mimic the behaviors of such chosen animal.
Yes.
It's
a fetish. It's most time it's some
mostly
kind
it's
of
a sexual fetish,
or it is some kind of escapism behind a mask.
Exactly.
Like it's like man babies or something like this weird
and
shit.
I've heard about people at furry conventions.
Yeah, they have conventions.
And they go to hotels and they ask, like people who are cats, they ask for litter boxes because they're going to shit in a box in their hotel room and piss in a box instead. They ask for dog bowls. They ask for food to be served.
Well, and that's also some, like, keep in mind, that's not all for, like, there's different levels of extreme.
Sure, but I mean,
I'm sure there's some that just like to be dressed up in the costumes, and others that take it that super
go
far
deep and identify as a fucking cat.
Well, I've seen people like they dress up, but they're not. I've seen more sexualized stuff than furries, that like people who dress up as like dogs or horses, but they're wearing like leather bondage gear, and it's more of a BDSM animal thing. I've seen that shit, and that's not necessarily a furry.
Can you share the link?
Yeah, I'll share that link afterwards. Okay. So anyway, you get various levels of furries out there. But
those are furries.
These are the furries.
And these furries, they don't seem to be fucking. They just seem to be. They're kind of
sort of fucking, but
their clothes are on. No one's getting naked.
Yeah, well, it's furry fucking. So yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's almost like simulated. Fucking.
Yeah, it's like dry humping in a mascot.
Like one's like blowing the other one's tail.
Yeah, we're about to come to that. Yeah, it's so fucking weird. So we have first one we see is this girl dressed up in this tight pink latex bodysuit wearing a poodle mask with gloves and a tail. So we have the poodle, and then we have a white bunny that's just hopping around while a lion sucks on a kangaroo's tail.
Yeah.
Like it's a dick or something like that. And then we have the denim-clad white wolf that's humping a teddy bear doggy style up against a tree. So that's the opening scene of the furries.
Yeah.
It's what the fuck.
It's definitely like, huh.
Yeah.
Now, the furries, they look a little like... The wolf guy, he has human clothes on.
Yeah,
he's got like a denim jacket. He always looks like a good serial killer, like a good slasher. Like denim jacket, plaid shirt. No.
Does he have a plaid shirt on? I guess he.
I don't know.
No gloves.
No gloves.
Yeah, he does.
He does have a tail.
He has a tail,
but he's wearing jeans.
Denim shirt, flannel shirt, and
But he's standing next to a cartoon-looking kangaroo.
Yeah,
which is completely like cartoon mascot-y looking.
Yes, and so is the teddy bear.
Yeah, so there's different looks.
Again, I guess in the furry universe, it's just like maybe there's the more realistic furry outfits, and then maybe there's the more cutesy,
because the poodle one has more of a realistic look to it,
the mask
as opposed to like the wolf and the poodle look realistic.
All the other ones are more mascot-y,
cartoony.
Easter bunny. Like the Easter bunny looks like an Easter bunny costume. Right.
Almost cartoony. Yeah. And the Easter bunny one is wearing like human clothes.
Yeah, he's wearing like a black turtleneck or something like that, black pants. But the others are just wearing the.
So it's a whole array of furries.
Yeah, who knows?
It's a hodgepodge.
I am not a furry expert, so if I get something wrong, if there's any furries that listen, I apologize.
Furry followers, let us know. Let us know what's going on.
Actually, if any actual furries heard this, I would love to talk to a real furry and just like pick your brain and like learn more about it.
I bet furries would reach out because just
they can be completely anonymous, but I would love to like understand more of that culture.
Just looking this film up online, I noticed there's a furry wiki that referenced this. Yeah, it's crazy.
Anyway, so Jack now he shouts out for the others to come like, dude, come check this shit out. And it's like it might as well be like that moment in time where you hear the record player like come to a screeching halt because all the furries just freeze, look over at Jack, who keep in mind they're supposed to be across the lake from each other and it's dark out. He shouldn't be visible, but they all look over at him and then they like scamper like cockroaches when you turn on a line. They all run and like hide,
jump in their
tents like they're suddenly ashamed. So after about a bit of conversation about the furries,
it's weird.
Oh, I'm sorry. Jack and Jessica then head back to the camp. Well, but then we see the white wolf kind of like watches. He kind of comes on the camera and just watches them walk away. So we go back to the campsite. Jack shows the others the footage he got of the furries dancing around. After a bit of conversation about furries, where they kind of talk about what furries are. They hear the sounds of branches snapping in the darkness, but they don't see anything. Nothing's seen at this point. More time passes. There's a lot of time gaps in this. I mean, this is like the longest night in the world because they do so many time jumps that you feel like, holy shit, this is like a 14-hour night.
Yeah, and something about this movie, when the action starts, there's the action, but all the stuff in between seems to drag.
Yeah.
And like lag, and there's no engaging dialogue, there's no character development.
No, the characters are bland as all fuck. The writing is pretty terrible. The acting is atrocious, especially by Hannah, and you'll experience some of that later. And it's not great. But yeah, and again, it's for a short movie. There are parts where it seems like I feel like I've been watching for 20 minutes. I'm looking down. Nope, it's been like 3.
5.
I'm like, oh, okay.
Not a good sign.
But then when there is action, it's like go, 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 go.
Yeah.
It's all over the place. So our main groups, they're sitting around the campfire drinking, just hanging out. Mark leaves to go get more firewood so Hannah can warm up her titties.
Gotta get them titties.
Gotta get them titties warm. So we cut to Mark wandering around the dark woods, getting more firewood. As he shines his flashlight around, he spots the teddy bear ducking behind a tree. And then he starts hearing various animal sounds in the night, and he rushes back to camp.
So yeah, he sees them.
Yeah,
right?
you clearly see the teddy bear going, oh, and then just kind of duck behind a tree. Like, it's not subtle at all. It's clearly there.
Fucking cartoon teddy bear.
Giant, cartoon teddy bear. So more time passes, more time lapse here. Everyone's asleep in their tents, except for Mark, who was, I guess, staying up on watch, but he's fallen asleep in a chair by the fire. So, which is weird. Like, okay. Mark wakes up and hears a growling come from the darkness. We see Mark pick up a rifle and his flashlight, and he starts to walk off screen. The camera cuts to one of the blonde girls sleeping. I don't know which one it is. Then we hear a loud gunshot. Everyone wakes up. Jack gets out of his tent while still recording through his camcorder, his little handheld camera. He's recording all this. He finds Mark freaking out, kneeling over the dead body of the teddy bear Furry. And he's like, I shot the bear. I shot him. They think, he's like, oh, you shot a bear. Good for you. Yeah. First of all, you're a fucking idiot if you look at it. Oh, that's a bear.
And this is where I was
Jesus Christ.
I really felt like they missed an opportunity here. They didn't do anything to build suspense because we see the cartoon bear before the cartoony looking bear before he's sneaking around. You're not taking the audience with you.
Yeah.
You're not showing them move like, boy, that could be a bear. Boy, that could be. It raises the suspense level.
Like if you want, like,
it's not a hard thing to do.
No,
It's
product of the furry costumes were too cartoonish and realistic to pass.
But you can still do like a few, like keep them shadowed to keep them dark.
Just don't show the giant cartoon head.
Yes.
Show the ass sticking out from behind the tree or something.
Yes.
I don't know.
It's something like it's simple to do, and it's like because it took all the suspense out of it. They're just like, well, he just shot the fucking Furry.
Yeah.
He knew exactly what was happening.
Yeah, the audience knows exactly what happened, but first, like, oh my God, you shot the bear, that's great. And Mark's like, then they finally see that he shot the Furry, and Jack's like, ah, and starts freaking out. He's about to scream, but he gets grabbed from behind by Brian, who covers up Jack's mouth to stifle the scream. Eventually, the three guys decide to carry the teddy bear body away from camp and dispose of the body in a lake.
Whoa.
Which we're going to come back to more of that in a minute because you don't really see that, but that's the plan. They carry the body off and they're going to dispose of it in the lake, and we'll get more details on that in a bit.
That's their choice.
That's their choice. Holy shit, we accidentally shot somebody. We're kind of innocent here. Let's go get some help.
Let's call the police.
Let's just hide the body. Fuck it. And we'll finish our film.
Fucking psychopaths.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Like,
Who's the bad guy here?
This immediately makes them the bad guy.
Yeah, it's like, we just killed an innocent person.
Yeah, well, Grant, okay, yeah. First of all, the Furry should have been sneaking around the woods in a furry costume at night.
Sure.
So that gives him plausible, like, not saying they intentionally shot him things, but he shoots somebody in the dark.
Plausible deniability.
And he's not wearing, he's like, oh shit. Sorry, if they wouldn't got help, he'd be like, oh, okay, it was an accident.
Yeah, we see this asshole dressed like a bear.
He's dressed in a bear.
We get it, yeah.
But no, like, we murdered it. We basically just went from manslaughter to murder now.
Because we're just going to throw him in a ditch or something.
Throw him in a lake. Get rid of him, and we're going to go about continue making our shitty student film.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, 100% these guys just became the bad guys. So,
I can't have the murder of an innocent person interrupt my fucking student film about a sea creature
about a swamp monster
from the fucking lake of Titicaca. I don't know.
So we cut to the outside of some like old building, and we're looking through the window, and we see White Wolf inside, and he loses his shit apparently over the death of Teddy Bear, because he's heard the news now. He's just losing his shit. He's screaming. He's breaking stuff. He's hitting things with a machete. And then he ends up in a group hug with Bunny and Kangaroo.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, they're there. Let's have
I
a
feel
group
like
hug.
they missed something. He should have howled, maybe.
He did a little bit.
Did he?
Yeah, there was
I
some
didn't
howling
quite
there.
get it, but
yeah, Wolf howls a lot, actually.
I don't think he does. I don't
No,
think
he
he
does.
howls enough.
He might not howl enough, but he does howl at this point.
Okay.
He does
Well,
howl.
I didn't.
I think he should have howled more. You're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
But he does howl at the news of Teddy Bear dead.
That'd be cool.
Right before he howls, then he loses his shit, and then he gets the group hug with Teddy Bear, with Bunny and Kangaroo. Yeah. We crossfade to the next morning. Our main group is back out shooting more scenes. While filming, Jessica spots White Wolf just staring at them from across the lake.
That was cool.
This is probably one of the best shots in the movie. Mm-hmm. The group all turn to see White Wolf. He's just standing there, slowly waving at them, kind of creepy like.
Like, I'm gonna kill you, motherfuckers.
And he's like, I see you. And Jack's like, oh shit, we're wrapped. We're wrapped, guys. We gotta get out of here. We're gonna go. We cut to Jack sitting in his car filming himself, and he tells the camera that, like, again, apparently it's now nighttime again or something.
Yeah.
So we've gone from like the morning all the way to the next night in like a blink of an eye.
So they filmed during the day. They filmed some at night. They killed a guy.
Yes.
Then they decided to film all day.
They killed a guy, went back to sleep. Then they filmed in the morning, I guess.
Yeah.
Or at least some point in the afternoon. And then they see White Wolf, and they're like, oh, that's a wrap. And then instead of leaving, they just hang out. And because we see he's sitting in his car,
God,
and he's filming himself. He's like, my keys are gone. I can't find my keys.
Can't find my keys.
I think they stole the furry stole my keys or something like that.
Who the fuck doesn't put their goddamn keys in their pocket?
Yeah,
And I was thinking to myself, okay, maybe he's got a shit ton of keys and he keeps in his backpack or something like that. But we find later that's not the case.
No.
And most normal fucking people who don't kill furries and leave them in the fucking lake just put their goddamn keys in their pocket. I don't trust any motherfuckers that put keys in their pocket. Anytime someone's like, hey, I got my keys, I'm going to put them in my fucking hip bag or put them in my backpack, I'm like, I don't trust you. I don't trust you, motherfucker.
I don't put my keys in my pocket.
Oh, fuck. Man, now I got a new dynamic to a relationship.
I keep my keys on one, like, the little, what are those things called? Around my belt loop.
It's the same thing. That's fine. You don't take them off your person. They're on you at all times.
Yeah.
Right.
Pretty much. Yeah.
You're fine.
Yeah. So anyway, his cars are gone, his keys are gone, whatever.
You got a lot of keys.
Yeah, he's got a lot.
Jeez,
of keys.
you got a lot.
Oh,
of
I
keys.
got keys. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Not that many, but anyway. So it's like I said, it's nights again. Jack's freaking out, telling Mark that those things took his car keys. Mark tries to calm down Jack so the girls don't hear him, because apparently they didn't tell the girls that they murdered somebody yet.
Yeah, and so the girls didn't hear the gunshot.
Yeah, which is bullshit. Like they heard, I think they heard a gunshot, and then they tried playing off as they told him that was it Mike, Matt, whatever his fucking name
Doesn't matter.
Mark shot a bear. They just didn't say it was a human dressed as a bear. They said, oh, he shot at a bear in the woods, something like that. So I think that was their excuse, and not that he actually shot a person. So this is where they spot Jessica about to wander off by herself, and Mark stops her because now they're freaking out that the furries are like coming after them, like, oh shit, you can't let her go out there alone. She's like, I have to pee, leave me alone.
Right.
And they're trying to convince her without saying why, but why she can't go. She insists on going off by herself. She has to pee, and she does. So we cut now to Jessica peeing in the woods. After she's done, she starts to hear noises in the darkness. She calls out for Mark while scanning the woods with her flashlight. Now this is actually cool. She pans the flashlight around the woods, and the White Wolf leaps out of the darkness right as the light shines on him. Blackout as Jessica screams. And this was the other good shot I thought in the movie. This was done really well. And I would say I don't get scared. This actually made me jump a little bit, because like most jump scares, like whatever. Like you can't. This one got me, and part of it was because of the mask and the wolf, the facial expression on the wolf, and how well and fast they did it. And how little you don't see him at all before he makes that, and it's so fast and quick.
And the use of the lighting.
Yeah.
And that's something I'll say about just right now about the film. The lighting, fucking great. The light, some of the shots and lighting.
See, I mixed some of them. Some of
in,
them are good, yes. Others, I hate because it's too dark at some point.
I think it's just. I think they nailed it. I think they did very, very well with their lighting for an indie film. Whoever was doing the lighting for that fucking knocked it out of the park. I think they did great. They're the star of the show for me because it's not the fucking actors.
No,
it's not a fucking story.
Yeah.
But the shots,
the technical stuff.
A lot of the shots, a lot of the cinematography.
There are some good shots. And there are some lighting, good lighting.
Yeah.
Yes, I give it. I'm not saying it's all bad, but yeah, this was one of the.
It was
good.
directed and shot well, I think.
So blackout, Jessica screams. We cut back to camp where the others are trying to figure out what to do next and commenting on how long Jessica's been gone, but not, hey, didn't you just hear her scream in the woods? Because it's the fucking woods. And it's not like she went off to pee, which is like 20, 30 feet maybe. It's not like she walked 5 miles. That scream's going to echo through the goddamn woods at night. They should have heard her scream. No one's like,
I guess she's gone.
So now Hannah and Brian decide to go off to look for Jessica. Maddie wants to tell a scary story, so Jack tells the story about the 3 kids who killed a furry.
I will say Maddie's kind of funny though.
Maddie's the best character in the movie.
She's the whole time, and we kind of glaze over it, but she's just drinking.
Yeah,
she's just got bottles and bottles of ciders and different stuff.
She brought when she packed for the trip, and when she packed, she brought her bags of fuck, but she forgot to pack them. Because she has no fucks to give in this movie.
She has zero.
And she's the best character in this movie.
She's constantly just aloof to the whole... I mean, almost the entire movie, even when they're being chased, she's just kind of like,
I'm just going to drink some more.
She's just drinking.
Yeah.
I kind of love her for that.
Yeah.
So she's like, tell ghost stories.
Yeah, ghost stories. Yeah. So Jack, you want a story? I'll tell you a story. Did you hear the one about the 3 kids who killed a furry, chopped up his body, and fed it to the fishies in the lake? So Jack rants on about and getting more and more frantic and freaking out and pretty much tells Maddie everything, along with the fact that they can't leave because his keys were stolen. This leads to him and Mark getting into a scuffle, with Mark wrestling a hysterical Jack to the ground while Maddie just keeps drinking more beer and it's like, fuck, I'm going to my tent, guys. But so what we got from that is not only did they move the body and drop it in the lake, they somehow chopped up the body into pieces and dumped it in the lake.
Fucking psychopath.
What the fuck?
And roll student film the next day.
Holy shit.
Jesus.
Like, what? First of all, you never even see them with any kind of axe or machete. So what the fuck did they use to chop this thing up with, this body up with? And it's like, what? We went from like accidental shooting, maybe manslaughter, to murder, to like, okay, you maybe get 20. Now you're like, that's like psycho Dahmer shit. You're like life in prison, death penalty shit now. You're hacking up a body and trying to dispose of it.
Yikes.
Jesus Christ. So, meanwhile, then speaking of which, Brian and Hannah find a bloody sheet down the dock by the lake. So you see the sheet where they apparently also got a white sheet now from somewhere.
Yeah, and they didn't do a very good job of covering their fucking tracks.
No, we got rid of the body, but you just left a bloody sheet right on the dock where you hacked the body art. Jesus, maybe bury the sheet or something. Jesus,
they're sloppy with their cover up. I bet your student film is shit.
Yeah. So then we get a quick cut back to Jack, who now has his camcorder in his hand, and through it he sees the furries standing there staring at him in the shadows.
Yeah, this use of the cam is kind of like cuts back between not quite found footage, but
it's sort of found footage.
It's a way to, I think, save money. I don't know, instead of having to use, a high quality camera all the time, you can use like a shittier one at times.
That doesn't make any sense, because if you already have the camera, it's not like you're paying by the minute with a camera. If you're renting a camera, you rent a camera for a day, a weekend, a week. You're not renting it by the minute or by how long you power it on. Like, if you're gonna have the camera, just use the camera. Like, I hate when movies do this shit where here's the camcorder footage and blah 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 blah. First of all, if it's not a found footage movie, don't give me that shit.
Right.
First of all, and second, I hate found footage movies. I've made that apparent very much on this show.
Hey, Marshall, how do you feel about found footage?
Love them.
Yeah.
Fucking hate them. I hate that. It's like, just stop going back and forth to the camera. You don't need it. you can clearly show him holding it, recording his surroundings. That's fine. We get the idea he's recording it. We don't need to constantly switch to the black and white or night vision screen of that. Because
I don't mind it so much when they first started doing it to see the furries across on the other side of the lake. Because that makes sense. Because you can look and you can zoom in and see them.
Yeah.
I don't mind it a little bit. They use it too much.
Yes. They use it way too much in this movie.
I just think they use it too much. I think if they would have scaled back, like when he's filming himself talking into the camera, just show him talking into the camera.
Yeah.
I don't
need the fucking Blair Witch Project.
Right. I don't need snot dropping on my fucking screen when he's like, I'm so scared.
I'm so scared. The map. Where's the map? Yeah, it's bullshit.
Yeah.
I hate it. So, anyway, so he sees the furry standing there in the shadow staring at him. Jack runs to his car, gets in, turns on the headlights, which flood the area with light. And there stand 5 furries, each armed with some form of murder weapon.
Murder weapon indeed.
The poodle has a machete. The bunny has a tire iron, I think. White Wolf has a chainsaw. I can't see what Kangaroo has. But the weird thing is now, this is weird, is that now there's a second bear, which we've never seen before, that's armed with a sledgehammer. And it's not Teddy Bear, because Teddy Bear was shot and killed. I have no idea where this bear came from, because we never saw it during the campfire scene, during the furry sex part, because we see a lion there, which is also odd, because it's the lion that got shot in the head by the hunter in the opening of the movie, but the lion was then dancing around the fire. He's gone, replaced by bear number 2, which you've never seen before, and you never see again.
I can't argue because I don't.
I take it back. You do see bear one more time,
I didn't look that deep at the furries because that second bear and or lion doesn't last too long.
Doesn't last long, but I had to watch it multiple times. Like, wait a minute, there's 2 plus 2 is not equal 4 here. Like, this is not matching up. So there's some weird continuity issues with the furries going on. Mark raises his rifle, shoots the bear number 2,
and just boom, down
he goes,
and
down goes bear.
Not one furry
flinches.
moves.
They don't even flinch.
Don't flinch. Boom. They just look over, see him fall, and just look right back at him.
Yeah. And so Jack tries to call 911 on his cell phone, and he's frantically pleading for help. The Furies charge. Mark fires again while he's running. He turns and fires. Mark runs off screaming for Brian and Hannah. We see the kangaroo fall to the ground, bleed from the belly. So I guess shot number 2 hit kangaroo. Meanwhile, Jack is screaming about furries trying to kill him to the 911 operator. Now, this is where they try to go for some humor here, because it turns out the 911 operator, who is a woman, is a member of the National Furry Association, which leads us to our educational moment for the week. Now, the National Furry Association is not a real organization, but there is a American Furry Association and National Association of Furry Fans. I also learned during my Google search that apparently in Germany it is legal to hunt furries, but only if they have had sex with or harmed an animal.
Whoa. Whoa, hold on. It's legal?
According to Google.
You can always trust that.
Yeah.
But what you researched is that it's legal to hunt a human being dressed as an animal.
Apparently.
If they have fucked.
If they have fucked or have harmed an animal.
So if I'm dressed as a dog and I fuck a German Shepherd, and they're like, yeah, that's weird.
They can hunt you.
You can hunt me.
Turns into Hunger Games or something, man.
Dude, Germany's
now,
weird.
I didn't dive into all the legal.
I might have to go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, I meant to do. But yeah, I was googling like furries, and I was googling I googled the National Furry Association from the movie. Like, let's see if that's real, and it came up like that's not real. But I found American Furry Association, National Association of Furry Fans, and then where it's like there's always when you use Google, there's that little box where it's like frequently asked questions or something like that, and one of the questions was, is it legal to hunt furries or something like that? And I clicked it down and I was like, what the how is this real? And it says, yes, in Germany it is legal to hunt furries only if they have fucked an animal or harmed an animal. I'm like, what?
Oh, it's furry season. It's furry season.
It's furry season in Germany. Now I'm sure the language, maybe furry means something else in Germany. Maybe that means like a zoophile or, a bestiality or something. Maybe that's what they call furry over there. I don't know. But either way, it's like, yep, it's legal to hunt them. Jesus. So anyway, the operator goes on to say that they quote unquote, meaning furries, don't take kind to the furless like him, meaning Jack, performing judgments about their chosen form of self-exploration. And while all this is being said, while the bunny and the other furries are attacking the car and like climbing all over it and around it,
they're basically attacking the camp. They're fighting off the guy with the gun, and they're jumping on the car.
Bunny is like, Bunny and like Maddie, meanwhile, is shown as hanging out in her tent, drinking, doing all of this. So 2 more gunshots have gone off. There's crazy sound like furries screaming and charging.
Is the chainsaw going?
Chainsaw is going. Chainsaw's revving. People screaming. She's just like, whatever. I'm just
She's
gonna
like,
drink.
fuck it.
Just drinking my beer. Drinking my fifth. So I did call bullshit on that she's just like not paying any attention to this.
And it's hard to hear what the 911 operator is saying.
Yeah.
I had the subtitles on.
They're trying to be, this is like, they're supposed to be the comments like, well, I'm a furry and we like this and this. We don't take time to use.
I sometimes dress as a dolphin or identify as a dolphin.
Yeah, but you know how rare it is to find a dolphin too, blah, blah, blah. And it's so hot when, she starts getting aroused at one point. And so White Wolf like dangles Jack's car keys through the windshield, like taunting Jack. While, this were 911 operators. Like I get dressed up as dolphin. I get turned on by unicorn horns. Maddie finally sticks her head out of the tent, only to have White Wolf smash a bottle over her face.
That was awesome.
Yeah, knocking her back into the tent.
I love that because she like finally sticks her head out, and up comes White Wolf just running and wham with the bottle. She goes flying back in the tent. It looked pretty violent.
It did look right. Yeah. Jack, so on the phone, calls the 911 operator a sick fuck. She says, "Same to you, pal," and then she hangs up on him. White Wolf goes over to Kangaroo, who still is at this point clinging to life, and rips out the baby kangaroo that was stuffed into
the pouch.
The kangaroo's pouch. What? So fucking strange. But yeah, so we have a baby kangaroo stuffed animal pulled out of the kangaroo's pouch. White Wolf takes over to the fire, dangles it over the fire till it catches on fire, the kangaroo stuffed animal.
To the disarray of Mama Kangaroo, who's now going, no!
Yeah, no, not my baby!
It's so weird. And the whole time going,
so stuffed animal goes up in flames, and White Wolf takes it over and tosses the flaming stuffed animal inside Maddie's tent, which just instantly ignites into a giant fireball. Jack sits in his car and films all this with his camera. We cut to Hannah, Brian, and Mark out in the woods arguing about what to do next. More time passes now, so we're going to get another time jump here. In the middle of this action, what are we going to do? Time jump.
Yeah, so the furries leave Jack alone?
Yeah, they apparently just leave him in the car. We don't know, but that's what happens.
Yeah,
like we time jump,
because they show this dramatic. He's dangling the keys. They just set the tent on fire.
White Wolf has a fucking chainsaw. They have a tire iron, a sledgehammer. They could easily break the window and get Jack out of there, but they leave him in there. Yeah. They're just like, whatever. And you've shot 3 of us now. We're just going to let you sit in your car.
And there's no rationale as to why.
No.
If there was a sound, or if they heard the other people in the woods, or if they got spooked off by something.
And you don't see like there was no plan. Like you don't see like White Wolf like, I got him, you guys go get them. There's no like, you don't see him organizing a plan or strategy. And there's never anything where like you see like them toying with Jack. More he just dangles the keys, or it's like it's
time
weird.
Jump.
Yeah, then it's time jump. Hannah, Brian, and Mark are hiding out in the woods. They hear some noises from the darkness. Poodle pops up behind Mark, sending the 3 of them running away. We cut back to bear number 2, who we mentioned earlier. He actually isn't dead. He struggles to his feet, using the sledgehammer as kind of like a cane. He takes a few steps towards Jack in the car, but as he takes those 2 steps forward, he tries to raise the sledgehammer over his head, like just swing it, which causes him to lose his balance, and he rolls all the way down a giant hill, landing in a creek face first.
I thought that was kind of funny, actually.
And you never see Bear 2 again. Bear 2 is now gone forever. Bunny hears another gunshot coming from the woods, so he waves bye-bye to Jack, hops off the car, and then jogs off into the woods. We jump back to Hannah, Brian, and Mark running from Poodle and White Wolf. Mark taunts the furries at this point, saying, "You can't catch me because I'm a track star.
I'm a track
star. You can't catch me."
As soon as he says that, Bunny comes running up
Mark
and does a missile drop kick.
Mark stops, turns, he raises his gun to fire, and that's like
Bunny runs out, and I love it. He just jumps up and bam!
Yeah,
just
it's like a running drop kick, just like out of the darkness.
Double leg, almost like pro wrestling style. Not
missile
quite,
drop,
but
it was
so good.
It was wonderful. Like, Mark goes flying. He too rolls down a large hill. We cut back to Brian and Hannah, who have seen this happen, but decide like, fuck Mark, we're going this way. So they like, you're on your own, Mark. We're not. And
it's a good point. They're just like, nah.
Yep. Mark gets up. He's like, calls out for the furries, like, fuck you, furries, come get me, come get me. And he's doing like a whole Arnold Predator thing here. Yeah. Back to Jack, who slowly at this point starts to creep out of his car. He goes over to the kangaroo, who has finally died from the gunshot wound or whatever, and Jack starts taking the costume off of kangaroo. And while his camera, we see, continues to record from the dashboard of his car. We jump back to Mark running through the woods again. White Wolf pops up, trips Mark, who falls, lands in a creek. Wolf grabs Mark's head, holds his face under the water, but Wolf doesn't kill him yet. He starts toying with him.
It's a whole beating situation. This is where I thought the lighting was good, because they were using a very high-powered flashlight. Mark drops it, but where it drops, it's showing this great like lighting and over this little stream that they're fighting over. Again, I thought the lighting was really well done. I really liked the scene.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Mark, he's trying to crawl away, but every time he tries to crawl, Wolf just like beats him with something. I don't know if it's a tire iron. I don't know if it's a stick.
I think it was a tire iron.
It's something. You can't
because it's thin, but dark. It's whacking the shit out.
But that's what I'm saying. It's so dark at this point. What light is there? It's kind of a cool angle, but the rest of it's so dark you can't see what he's armed with.
Yeah, but
it doesn't matter though.
That may have been a good technique.
It may have been to hide
the flimsy,
plastic, whatever it was.
Exactly.
Eventually, Wolf stops beating, grabs Mark, mounts him, punches him like 3 times in the face, which seems to kill Mark. Mark's
and this is where I think a good howl would come in.
Yeah,
like after pound, pound, pound.
You're right. A howl here would be good.
Stand up,
but he does not. And this would be a good spot for that.
I don't think he howled enough.
Wolf then just drags Mark's body off screen. We cut back to Jack, who is now putting on the kangaroo costume. Then right back to Mark, who wakes up. So he's not dead, but he wakes up and he's being dragged by Bunny and Wolf. And they drag Mark all the way back to the car. Jack gets up, which shocks Wolf. And Wolf is shocked, happy to see the kangaroo still alive.
Gives him a hug.
But that is short-lived, because as soon as Wolf sees that Jack is no longer in the car, he turns on Kangaroo and he's like pissed the fuck off that Kangaroo let Jack get away. He's like, oh, I kind of forgot you just got shot in the stomach and you're pretty much dead, but how dare you let him get away? And what's wrong with you?
There's no breaking. The furries never break.
No, they
never say, hey, Jim, who is, whoever the fucking person is in the kangaroo, where the fuck is that guy in the car? They never speak.
Yeah.
It's just
Captain. I love that they call it the kangaroo captain.
It's just marble.
And then, so what makes it worse is, we're going to come back to that in a bit. We're coming up to that. Is you're right, they don't speak, but this is something I have a big problem with, because it starts at this point, is that apparently, these guys know each other. The furries all know each other, obviously, and probably for a while.
Sure.
And they're going to know, even if they're not speaking like we are right now, if they're speaking their furry language or whatever it is, you're going to recognize voices, tones, male, female,
vocabulary,
ways of speaking. But at this point, Jack starts trying to talk like a furry, like, I'm sorry. He sounds like a Care Bear, yeah.
Jeez, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
And like, Wolf, any of them should, if they're actually hearing that, should recognize, what? That's not
Kangaroo.
Kangaroo's voice. That's not whoever this is. But So anyway,
It's kind of funny.
it's
their attempt at humor.
Again,
this is where they start really going into the kind of reaching for the humor there.
Wolf goes and gets the camera out of the car, which has been recording this entire time, and then gives the camera to Jack so Kangaroo Jack now can film the rest of them.
Kangaroo Jack. Wasn't that a fucking movie with Jerry Conley? It's like a rapping kangaroo.
Holy shit, I think there was a Kangaroo Jack. Yes.
Kangaroo Jack,
You're
motherfucker.
Right.
God damn it. Why didn't we watch that movie?
That would probably been better. Now, at this point, I'm like, I thought this shit was about, like, oh, shit, he's going to get the camera. I'm like, oh, Wolf's going to watch it. He's going to see Jack is not Kangaroo, and they're going to fucking kill it. I'm like, oh, because I got interested. Like, I perked up for this. This is going to be good.
I thought the same thing. I thought we're finally going to see the fucking asshole who's been recording everything. It's going to come back and bite him in the ass.
That's what I was like.
And I would have loved that.
Loved it too, but nope. Wolf's like, here, take this and film us as we torture and beat Mark some more.
Yeah.
So,
which again, why would they do that?
Yeah. Now they're implicating themselves.
They're like, hey, let's film this.
Let's film ourselves committing horrendous acts of violence and murder. So Wolf tortures Mark for a while. He he holds his face above the fire, beats on him some more. It goes on. And then it cuts to Brian and Hannah, who have now come across an old rundown barn, and they decide to hide in that. But then we go right back to Mark, who is bloody. He's on his knees. Standing in front of him is Kangaroo Jack, filming him with the camcorder. Mark is he's bloody, he's dazed. He figures out that it's Jack in the costume based on the shoes. He recognizes Jack's shoes, and he looks up at Jack and whispers and mouths words like, help me. And Jack just says like, I can't help you. I can't help you. And that's when we see kind of wrapped around Mark's neck are the tails of Poodle and Wolf. And then, so with both Poodle and Wolf...
So there's a butt on one side of his face, a butt on the other side of his face.
With tails wrapped around his neck. And so, like, horses drawing and quartering somebody, Poodle and Wolf just, like, run in opposite directions. And the tails, which I guess are supposed to unwrap so hard and with so much force that it's supposed to snap Mark's neck, killing him.
Bullshit.
Which is the lamest fucking thing. It's just, bullshit, 100%.
Worst death I've seen in a long fucking time.
So bad.
Awful.
No way is that even humanly, remotely possible to kill somebody with a furry tail by snapping their neck. By running so fast. It would snap their neck. It would have been better just to have Wolf just hurt. Like, it would have been so much better if he just would have burned, held his face over the fire until he burned to death that way. That would have been a horrendous way to if you're trying to get revenge on somebody for killing your friends and that is a painful way and long way to kill somebody. By snapping their neck, you're basically showing him a mercy and giving him a quick and painless death. Like, that was horrible.
Maybe in furry culture, it's insulting to be killed by one's tail. And this is the grandest insult of them all, is we think so low of you, we're going to kill you with our tails. Furries, let us know.
So we jump back to the old barn where Brian and Hannah are. They're inside, and they also find Maddie now, who has been hiding out, which is, because
Maddie's alive.
Yeah, because last we saw her,
she got smashed in the face
with a bottle fell in her tent,
set on fire,
and her tent set on fire. But now we get treated to some of the best, most nuanced acting ever captured in film, thanks to Hannah. And you're going to enjoy this bit, so enjoy Hannah's acting.
Shh. You could hear us.
Relax, Breitard. It's just Maddie.
Then you're still just a whore.
You bitch. Who the fuck do you think you are?
Alright, both of you relax. And you are a whore. Maddie, where have you been?
Oh, I went to see a movie, and I went and I got a coffee. What the fuck do you think I've been doing?
So there's Hannah clip number one, and you hear Maddie in there too. And Maddie, again, best character. She's also the best actress in this movie, and she's not great, but she's still the best in this movie.
You bitch.
You're a whore.
Yeah.
You're the whore. Yeah. Matt, it's just Hannah is
both.
so monotone, so devoid of any emotion. Just like it's terrible.
It's unfortunate because Maddie sounds like a shitty actress there too, but she's much more
But
animated.
she's still animated, and she's
moves.
trying.
Yeah.
Hannah just seems dead inside. And here's no, it's just a proof point. Here's another clip of Hannah.
I'm staying here till morning. You two find your own fucking place to hide.
Day or night? What the fuck is the difference? We're all fucked. Mark
No.
is dead.
No, Mark is the cause of all of this. He's the one that killed him. They just want revenge. Okay? If you noticed, they're not following us anymore. Everything's gonna be okay. We just have to wait here until morning.
They're evil. They're following us. When we least expect it, they're gonna come for us.
All right, so there's hand clip number 2. Again, just devoid of like all like emotion and life. Just like we're all screwed. We're fucked. They're gonna come for us when we least expect it. We're all gonna die. Blah blah blah.
Jeez, guys.
It's fucking terrible. And
it's hard to describe because her face is just as void.
yeah,
of
it's like just
emotion.
like it's just paralyzed Botox or something like that.
Yeah,
There's
it's
no
just
emotion.
yeah.
So at this point, the group in the barn get attacked by Jawas with chainsaws. Because I swear to God, the fucking furries sound like Jawas. And to prove my point, we're gonna play a little. I'm gonna play a game with Aaron for the first time ever. We're playing a game.
All right.
It's called Jawa or Furry.
Okay.
Where I'm gonna play sound clips, and you're gonna guess is it a furry or a Jawa?
Okay. All right,
So,
man.
Here
Bring
we
it
go.
on.
Is that a Jawa or a furry?
Well, that's classic Jawa speak. I
You're-
mean, I know that's Utini is Jawa for.
You're right, you're
hey,
right.
motherfuckers, come on.
You're right. I wanted to start off easy with you, so
Fair
I wanted to
enough.
get you warmed up. So you're right. That is Jawa. Jawa or furry?
I'm gonna go with furry.
That is also a Jawa.
Shit.
All
Okay.
right, here's number 3. Furry or Jawa?
That's a furry.
That's a furry.
That's a furry.
That's a furry. You got that one. That's kind of an easy one. So
Yeah.
let's go again. Furry or Jawa?
Okay, that's a Jawa.
That is a Jawa.
Yeah.
Furry or Jawa?
I'm gonna say furry.
That is a furry.
Yeah.
All right, there's another one. Furry Jawa.
I'm leaning towards furry
Yep.
because of the maniacal laugh part of it. It's just.
Yep, that's a furry.
I don't remember Jawas really laughing too much.
You're right. You're right. But that is a
Yeah.
furry. But okay. You think that's easy? Well, let's make it a little harder here.
Nope.
Furry Jawa.
That one was a Jawa.
That was a Jawa. All right. Furry Jawa.
Furry.
Furry.
Yeah.
Okay. Furry. Furry or Jawa?
That one's tough because that's like a scream. You know, very, very scream-like. I don't remember Jawas screaming. Oh. But it depends on what you got it from. If it was the Mandalorian, because he starts beating the shit out of a bunch of Jawas, and they might scream. I don't remember. I haven't seen it in a while. Because it's scream-like, I'm going to go furry.
That was Jawa. That was a Jawa.
Shit.
All right, I got 2 more for you, and we'll wrap this up.
Okay,
2 more.
okay.
Furry or Jawa?
The maniacal laugh, I'm going to go furry.
Also Jawa.
No shit.
Yes.
God damn it.
All right, the last one. This is the last one. All right, that was the last
Now,
one.
that one sounds familiar. That's Jawa.
That is Jawa.
That's Jawa.
That's
I'm
Jawa.
already hearing that type of thing. Like, I didn't watch as much Star Wars as I guess you have, but man, I started getting nailed them for a while, and then got me with the scream.
I know. You think it'd be easier, but it's a little tricky, man.
This-
you can see how they sound like fucking Jawas.
Yeah, the scream was the one that got me.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, I knew that's the good one. So anyway, that was a fun. You can play at home, or you probably did, maybe. I don't know, Jawa or furry, make it a game. All right, so back to the movie. Maddie and Brian drop to the floor while Hannah stands up against the wall next to this large hole that opens up to the outside. And we see Bunny looking in through the hole and then move out of sight. Brian tries to hold Maddie's hand here at this point, and she slaps him, which is, again, funny. Then Hannah gets grabbed by Bunny through the hole in the wall. Brian and Maddie, these friends, these must not be friends. They're just my classmates because they ditch each other at the
No shit.
like every chance they get. They're like, fuck you, I'm out.
Yeah.
Because
There's like no camaraderie.
nobody tries to help Hannah here because you could easily because he's just reaching in through a hole in the wall. You could like just stab his hand or pull her free.
To her, one of her faults though, she has no sense of urgency. Again, horrible acting.
She's
Just like,
horrible, yeah.
She's like, oh no, I got grabbed by a furry.
Right, I agree with that, but still, it's one hand through a hole in the
Yeah.
wall. Like you could easily just pull
Pull
her
her,
away
yeah.
and save her, but they're like, nope, we're out, bitch.
And they left Mark too when he fell down the hill.
So, what was Brian and Maddie? They take off running, and they run out of the barn and out through a large livestock gate, which Brian then quote unquote locks behind him, trapping Hannah in even
Not only
further.
does he leave her, he locks
He
her
locks
in.
the door behind him so she can't get out.
Jesus Christ.
Kangaroo Jack spots Maddie and Brian running through a crop field, but is unable to signal them. Hannah reaches the gate that's been quote-unquote locked, while Wolf and Bunny are closed in on her. She starts to squeeze through the bars of the gate, which somehow then causes all of her clothes to just disappear.
What the fuck?
She goes through the bars of the gate and boom, clothes gone.
I don't understand how this happened. Because she's
Neither
wearing
do I.
like a jacket, a shirt, jeans,
Yep.
boots, and she claws through the livestock gate and poof, she's in pink panties
She's in
and bra.
pink matching panties and bra, yeah.
What the fuck? It's like that gate needs to be studied.
Yeah, there's something magical about that gate.
It's like a Stargate, you go to a different world. This one you pass through and your clothes disappear.
Or it's like a disintegration ray or zap. You
Right,
touch it, wherever
right.
it touches, just poof, gone.
Panties.
Panty. Oh man, I needed that in my college dorm room.
Right. They just walk to your door.
Yes, should have my doorknob made out of that. Poof. gone.
Panties.
I won't lie though, she does look great. So she looks great here.
But it doesn't make any fucking sense.
No fucking sense. None whatsoever. Like you don't even see like her shirt get caught on something and she has like rips,
No.
or she has to, like take her jacket off, like
No.
they escape. It's just I'm closed. I'm going through bars. Poof.
Panties.
Clothing gone.
Jesus.
So she's running through the crop field, cornfield, whatever it is, and then bursting out from the barn comes Bunny riding a tractor, laughing hysterically like sound like a Java on crack. Kangaroo Jack stands in the field with his camera just recording all of it. Of course, Hannah falls, and Bunny runs her over with the tractor, which I guess also has some sort of like lawnmower blade attached to the bottom of it, because when he runs her over, it should just be like, splat, she's dead. But no, it's you hear like
Pieces,
and his blood just goes flying everywhere. It shoots like 30 feet out into the field where Jack's standing, because he gets covered in blood and the camera gets doused in blood. And he's like, he was so far away. But and then landing at Jack's feet is a severed chunk of one of Hannah's tits, complete with the areola and nipple, to which Jack gets all excited about finally getting that booby shot he wanted for his film.
Ugh.
At this point, I'm like, what? Like, because it's like they're riding the line. Like, I know Jack he's got to finish his horror movie. He wants to finish his movie, be a great director.
And they joked earlier about boob shots.
And that boob shot, like,
movies.
you're covering your tits. But then he's like,
then
he's like, okay, the furries are coming. We gotta wrap up. We gotta go. But
when they're choosing to do humor, it's just the worst timing.
Yeah, it's
the worst, like
horrible.
the most like traumatic thing you could experience is watching one of your friends get run over by a psychopathic furry and tractor, pieces of her falling on you, and then you make a joke about a boob shot.
Yeah. I think we're right. I don't think they're friends. I think they're just classmates.
If that was the theme throughout the start of the movie going through, fine. But they just do this fucking joke.
Yeah.
Fucking crack
The
out of
other thing
nowhere.
would make more sense is if, okay, maybe, again, the movie's not long enough and they didn't set it up, but if Jack was going insane, and becoming that sick, the writer's like, I have to get this, this is, and I'm recording you getting murdered intentionally, and this is going to be my
okay, yeah, if they went that route.
But they don't, and I thought that's what they were trying to do, because he's like, my Hitchcock shot, I got the shot. And he's like, he's snapping, he's starting to lose it, but he's like, I got my booby shot. And I'm like, Oh, what is wrong? What is going on? This thing is all over the place.
Right,
it's so all over. So, Wolf and Poodle join Jack in the field as Bunny gets off the tractor. Jack notices that his car keys have somehow now been tied to Poodle's tail. And as they walk away, Jack reaches out to grab Poodle's tail. Like I said, I don't understand furry culture or the mating rituals of furries. But apparently in this movie, pulling on another furry's tail is an invitation to Pound Town. Because Poodle and Wolf turn, look back at Kangaroo Jack.
Kind of stunned.
Poodle starts undoing her pink bodysuit, like flash her to get her tits out. And Wolf's kind of like looks at her and kind of like is like, all right, whatever. And just walks off.
Just keeps walking.
While Poodle Girl is getting her tits out and starts to sex up Kangaroo Jack. And it fades to black.
Kangaroo Jack's like, no,
that's not what I meant. I didn't mean this. And we fade to black and we cut back to the kids' campsite where Maddie and Brian have come running back. They find Mark laying face down in the grass dead. Then they just run off again and we go right back to Poodle zipping up her bodysuit having just finished furry fucking Kangaroo Jack. Jack sits up holding the car keys in his hands like, oh, I got it. And
would you really complain that much if you got away with it? Because Poodle was pretty hot. Poodle had a smoking bod.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, and in that situation, like,
you might die.
You might, yeah, I mean, at least getting laid before you get murdered, or at least getting something out of it. Like, you're all right. You might get a fear boner. That's all right. But whatever. Maddie and Brian finally reach the road. And Maddie's phone starts to beep. Oh, she's finally got cell phone service. She's got service. She pulls out Dow's number. And on the other end, which makes zero fucking sense, she hears the furries. Like, huh? Who is she dialing on the other end that would have the furries? Like, who? What?
I thought she called 911 and the person who answered was doing a dolphin.
Yeah,
that's what I thought it was. I thought it was.
But she's still a furry. That's my point.
Yeah.
But even if you call 911...
the chance of you getting that
the
same
exact
dispatcher.
same operator is so slim. And second, if you did get that same operator, it's a different phone, so she wouldn't know Maddie's with Jack.
Right.
So she's just answering 911 calls, sounding like a dolphin. That's not professional. She asked to be fired.
Someone needs to be written up.
Somebody needs to be written up. Like, you don't do that. Can you imagine? Like, I gotta start doing. I'm just start every time somebody on my phone rings, I'm gonna start answering like a dolphin.
My baby's not breathing. Help me!
I can't do a dolphin. Or Jawa. So I just make some weird fucking noises and see how far that gets me. Jesus Christ, come on. So I get it's supposed to be, oh my God, they got us, but it makes zero sense, which takes all the fear, suspense out of that just to rubbish because it just no logic there whatsoever that would happen. So Brian and Maddie look up and see White Wolf, Poodle, and Bunny standing there, all of them armed. Poodle has their machete again. Bunny has the sledgehammer now, and Wolf has his chainsaw. Maddie and Brian take off running. Maddie drops her phone. They come to an old abandoned house, and they run inside. Meanwhile, Jack gets back to his car, gets in, and starts it up. Maddie and Brian barricade the door with an old toilet and then look around the house. And they quickly learn that apparently they're in the furry's den.
The furry den.
The furry den.
Sure.
Because they enter the living room and see Teddy Bear's furry costume hung up on display above the fireplace. Which, again, I don't... So does that mean Mark and Jack took the costume off the guy before they chopped him up and put him in the lake? They took him out of the costume first and then just left the costume there? Or did they...
Is this a second costume?
Did they throw the costume in the lake? No, because there's a scene at one part where you see Wolf pull the costume out of the water. So they took the... it's so... What? But the costume's in one piece.
Whatever.
What? And the house is run down. Like, if this is their den, like, they're supposed to live here? It's just a shitty house. It's like, there's no furniture. There's graffiti all over the wall. It's,
looks more like a crack den.
Yeah, it does. It looks, it totally does.
Not quite a furry den.
Not a furry den, a crack den. Jack, we go back, Jack, who's racing down the road, catches up to the three furries. He speeds up, meaning to run them over, but Poodle pushes Wolf out of the way at the last moment. Poodle gets smashed by the car, killed. rolled over. Brian drives away. No, not Brian. Jack drives away, giving the other furries the finger as he drives off.
So
again, leaving Maddie and Brian behind.
So again, fuck you guys.
We see a theme. Here. At least that theme's consistent. Jesus.
So it looks like Kangaroo Jack is out.
Out, yeah.
He's home free.
Wolf gets up, grabs Poodle's machete, looks at Bunny, and the two of them head towards the house. Brian tries to barricade more windows. In doing so, a small revolver falls off an old bookcase onto the floor. The furries start trying to smash their way into the house. Brian trying to hold him back. He spots the gun on the floor. He grabs it, shoots at the wolf, and the gunshots cause the furries to retreat from sight. We cut back to Jack driving away. He has a crisis of his consciousness here and he decides to turn around and go back.
Bullshit.
Yeah, bullshit. This whole movie, no way does he. He'd be like, nope.
He already let his friend die.
He's let everybody die. At this point, he'd be like, I'm just gone.
But he turns back around.
Honestly, what he should have done is just gone anyway and just gone and got help. That's the best thing he could have done. So we go back to the house. All's quiet at the old house. Brian's keeping watch. The furries, we see them hanging out behind trees kind of along the outside of the house. They're kind of keeping their distance.
Creeping and peeping.
Yes, good. I like creeping and peeping.
Creeping and peeping.
For some reason, Maddie thinks this is a good time to fuck with Brian. Because she's like, hey, look behind you. He's like, huh? There's nothing there. Got you. I'm like,
again,
really?
Totally aloof.
And just drinking more beer. I don't know where's the beer's coming from, but she's got one and she's drinking it. So then Brian starts to get all mushy on Maddie at this point, telling her that, earlier at the very first campsite, he's talking about how in the 8th grade he wrote, I think it was Hannah or Jess, one of the blondes, a song.
A love song.
Love song. So in this thing, he's like, I should have written that song about you. It's so mushy,
ridiculous,
and out of place.
Stupid.
It's so out of place.
Really out of place. Really
completely
forced.
out of left field. Like there was zero attraction between Brian and Maddie this entire time. There's no hint that Brian liked Maddie. It was just
confessing his love and how it.
And then
what?
He confesses his love for her. He leans in to kiss her. Maddie rejects him, saying, "Ooh, no, gross." And this is apparently enough to break Brian, who loses his fucking mind at this point, and he starts crying. What did I do? And then just takes off running like a little bitch out of the room. He's about to run out of the house altogether, but Wolf pops up on the other side of the front door and kicks it open. Brian falls to the floor. Let's rewind that for a second. He gets rejected by Maddie, and I guess his psyche snaps because he breaks down into a bitch crying and runs away. Like, you forgot you're being hunted by killer furries that are right outside, and you're going to run away crying because a girl said, no, I don't want to kiss you in the worst possible moment? Like, God damn it, what is this guy's deal? What? Whoa.
I've got, no reaction. I'm just sitting here listening to you rant and carry on. I'm just like, I don't think it's worth the effort to put up a fight and be mad about this. I'm just like, fuck this part.
You have to put up a fight, but it's like, Jesus, dude. Like, how do you not, what is happening?
I'm with you, man.
What kind of writing is that? Like, I can't comprehend, what a drastic,
violent
shift of, not just emotion, but just a complete shift in personality. Like, the whole movie, he was not like that at all. And all of a sudden, he's a whiny, whimpering bitch running away. So, all right. Anyway, Brian falls on the floor after the door gets kicked open. He gets up, runs back towards Maddie, but Bunny then bursts through a side door with the chainsaw.
Yes!
And it just rips into Brian's midsection. Blood's flying everywhere. Everywhere. White Bunny is turned red.
I was so happy when this happened.
Yes.
Because I've been watching this and you see the stark white bunny. You see the stark white poodle, the stark white wolf.
Yep.
And I'm like, when is the blood going to get all over him and it's going to look crazy?
Yep.
Finally it fucking happens and it's great.
Yeah.
It's Bunny's laughing.
They are not getting their security deposit back on those rented costumes.
Oh, shit. Blood's flying everywhere. He's like, Brian's wiggling and jiggling. He's dying.
Yeah.
Blood's going. I mean, it's just buckets and buckets and buckets of blood just spraying around. They fucking nailed that part.
Yeah. So Brian he dies, he falls floor, and he's dragged away, and he's dragged off screen. Wolf charges Maddie, grabs her, and lifts her up off the floor and holds her up against the wall with one fucking hand.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a deep breath here. Okay, calm down.
Bring in the love. Push out the jive.
Yeah.
One-handed,
one-handed from a guy who's been from up to this point, they've done a pretty good job of keeping these killers very human-esque and very normal in the range of what they're able to do.
And he's like he's a normal guy.
He's a normal size. He's not like a Kane Hodder size or
maybe like 180.
Yeah, he's a normal dude. Mark was probably bigger than Wolf, or about the same size, because I mean the mask makes him a little bigger, taller, but
normal
dude.
There's no way he can do this.
No way. But nope, one-handed, lifts her right up off the ground and holds her there. Now, Maddie has the gun in her hand, and for the life of me, I have no fucking idea why she doesn't just shoot this motherfucker right then and there, but she doesn't.
She finally does get the wherewithal to point it at him.
Yeah, after like 10 to 15 seconds of this, I'm like, that should have been
like,
instinct number one. I have a gun in my hand, or as soon as you see him charging you, maybe bang, before he even touches you. But no.
She has been drinking all movie.
That is true.
She has been pounding brewskis.
So Wolf just stands there holding her, just staring at her. Again, he could kill her, doesn't, just stands there holding her. Maddie finally cocks the gun, which, by the way, doesn't need to be cocked. This alerts the wolf to the fact that she has the gun. Seeing this, he drops her and he takes off. Maddie is able to shoot him, and I think she shoots Bunny through a window, because I don't think you see Bunny's head in the window, bang, Bunny's head falls out of the window, and you never see Bunny again.
Yeah, I think Bunny got
So I think Bunny gets popped there, but you never really see it.
That's where the lighting will hurt it a little bit. Yeah.
Wolf is on his knees holding his gunshot with him, so he did get grazed or shot in the stomach or in the back or something like that.
Side of the stomach or side of the back. Yeah.
Maddie gets up, walks up behind him with the gun pointed at the back of Wolf's head.
It's curtains for Wolf.
Yeah, and Wolf at this point, he's like, he knows. He's like, he's giving in to his fate. He just stays there on his knees, waiting, just looking down, just waiting for her to pull the trigger. He's not fighting anymore. He's like, yep, you got me. It's over. Whatever. So Maddie walks up behind him, pulls the trigger, and click. Hearing the click, Wolf gets up, machete in hand, turns to face Maddie, who backs away. He goes to grab her again, but charging from out of fucking nowhere comes Kangaroo Jack, still in the goddamn kangaroo costume.
And still in furry character, going,
Maddie! Yeah, not Maddie! No, doing a stupid voice, and crashes into Wolf. Now this... Hold on here. Okay, this leads to the final fight between Wolf and Kangaroo Jack, which starts off fine and normal. And then it takes a sudden, out of place and completely ridiculous 180-degree turn.
While they're fighting, they're punching each other, kicks, knees, there's chokes.
Yeah.
They're fighting over the machete. It looks pretty decent.
And then it goes from...
And I was thinking to myself, why doesn't he take the fucking kangaroo head off? And then I thought, maybe that would protect his head from, like, punches and things like that. So maybe I was like, all right.
It's starting to hinder your field of vision.
Yeah, as long as he can see... You know, okay.
I don't know. I still think I would have taken that fucker off. Like, I want to be able to see.
too, but at the same time, I let it slide. But then it takes, like Marshall said,
it goes from serious to
wacky-doodle turn.
It goes from a fucking serious movie to a goddamn Looney Tunes cartoon. I shit you not. During this fight, Kangaroo Jack pulls out a pair of giant boxing gloves from his kangaroo pouch, which seems to give him super power up. It's like a video game power up.
He's like, come on. And starts like shucking and jiving.
And if that's not bad enough, there's one point in the fight where I think Wolf punches Jack so hard that it knocks Jack off of his feet and into the air. But Jack lands on the tip of his kangaroo tail, which then acts like a spring or a tiger tail and launches Kangaroo Jack back up, allowing him to drop kick Wolf in the chest while yelling, "Kangaroo kick." What the fuck is happening? This movie was serious and fine. Okay, all this up, and now this last 5 minutes, we're going to completely fucking slapstick cartoon bullshit. I lost my mind at this point. What the fuck? Like, there's what? Why? I still can't grasp it. I can't. It's hurting my brain to think about this. Like, I'm trying to figure out the motivation the director/writer had to go, let's be serious and serious and serious. Boom, silly, funny, slapstick cartoon fight. What? Oh. So also during the fight, by the way, it's not bad enough, Jack pulls off Wolf's tail, which he holds up, and we see that the tail is a butt plug tail the whole time.
God damn, that's
so that
right.
means Wolf's tail is just shoved up his ass this entire movie. He's walking on the giant metal butt plug up his ass with a tail hanging out of it.
I forgot about that.
Which also means he had to have a hole in his jeans as underwear for the tail to come out through.
So he broke a guy's neck with his butthole?
With his butthole. His sphincter muscle, ass muscles are so tight. His man kegels are so tight and so strong that he can break a man's neck with his anal bead wolf tail.
God damn, I bet he's a tight fuck.
Yeah, I bet he is. Snap that dick right off, man. Snap it. Snap it like a Slim Jim. Cue Macho Man Savage.
Why did I go there?
But that's a great point. It's a fucking anal bead tail that's stuck butt plug. It just plopped right up there the whole time. And Jack pulls it out, looks at it, and throws it at Wolf, who just kind of moves his head to the side and dodges out of the way. So that happened in this movie. Maddie, this whole time, is like, fuck this bullshit nonsense, and just leaves.
Gets in the car.
She's like,
drives away.
Jack's still alive. But at this time, Jack's still alive, too. She's like, she's not trying to help. She doesn't get the gun and shoot. No. At this point, on principle, she should just shoot both of them on principle.
Help in the fight.
Nope. She's like, I'm out of here. I'm just going home. And honestly, I don't blame her. I don't blame her at all. I'm done with this nonsense. God. I'm out. She gets in the car and drives away. Or she goes for the car anyway. Yeah. Wolf gets the machete and in one quick slash cuts off both of Kangaroo Jack's hands at the wrist. He's bleeding stumps now.
Cuts off, and this again, we're going slapstick, and then it's just all of a sudden fucking violent cutting off boxing glove hands, and there's bloody stumps and oh no!
Yeah, he's like, ah! He's not even screaming like ah! He's like, at least I think that's what he's doing.
No, yeah, he doesn't break.
So Wolf stands up and kills Jack by stabbing him in the face with through the kangaroo mask, right into the face with the machete. And then Wolf just goes fucking primal and hacks away on Jack repeatedly, turning his white wolf mask red with Jack's blood. And he does this dramatic gopher turnaround to the camera, like dun dun.
It looks great.
It looks good because the mask is all red and blood. It's scarier looking out.
It looked
great.
Scary.
It looked good.
Really good.
He's all and because he hears the car, Maddie's starting up Jack's car outside, so Wolf rushes off after her. He's able to leap onto the hood of the car as Maddie drives off, but Wolf can't hold on. He falls off, which allows Maddie to drive away. Wolf stands up, looks at her drive away, drops the bloody machete, takes off his wolf mask.
Yeah, we just see his legs from behind. Like we see the car drive away from the waist down or something, or the knees down.
Knees down and takes space his feet. Yeah. He drops the bloody machete, and then you see he takes off the wolf mask, drops it on the road,
the bloody wolf mask,
and then just walks away. Roll credits, and so the credits start to roll, and then during the credits, there's a scene of injured and limping Wolf, who has long hair, by the way, which I was not expecting that.
He has no mask on. We only see him from
behind, but he has long, wavy hair. I'm like, oh, that's okay. Didn't expect that. But he enters a costume shop, like your Johnny Brock's or whatever, your year-round costume shop. And he's walking through and he starts feeling up all these fur costumes, like feeling the fur on his fingers.
I kind of like that.
I liked it too. I did like that. And then he goes over this large wall where all these giant master on the wall display the big ones. And hang on, and the camera pans up, and we see dead center in the wall of mask is another white wolf mask. The camera cuts to a close-up of Wolf's mouth, and the smallest, tiniest hint of a smile is seen to spread on his lips. and blackout, roll the rest of the credits, which in the credits, by the way, for some reason, the wolf is called Mr. Fox.
Mr. Fox.
Which is fucking stupid because he's clearly a wolf, not a fox. So,
But it's funny because they even credited Mr. Fox as himself.
yeah. In the opening, yeah.
Yes.
It's like, but he's not a fox. He's a wolf. Like, is he that much of a furry that he's maybe in his real life he's a fox and he goes by Mr. Fox? I don't know. But I doubt that, but it's fucking strange that they call him Mr. Fox and he's clearly a wolf.
And
but,
there we are.
And here we are, guys. That's Furry Nights.
You went on quite a rant there.
I did not expect that. I wasn't expecting this from this movie. I wasn't.
You were full of emotion. Like, we've had a pretty level. We have a little excitement here and there, but then you cranked it up to 10, baby.
Yeah. Well, I can't fathom the ending, dude. I cannot wrap my head around this ending and that fight scene. I just cannot. I don't understand. And it hurts me to think that. Like, why I cannot understand this.
I can tell.
So anyway, that's the movie. Let's move on to favorite kills.
Don't act like you didn't love it. Favorite kill.
All right. What we got, man?
I think I already kind of gave it away.
I think you did, but go ahead. What's your favorite kill?
It was Bunny chopping Brian in half with the chainsaw. The blood effect, the screaming, the maniacal laughing of the Jawa-esque rabbit. It was good. It was really good. That was my favorite part. That was my favorite kill. If I needed to see one of these fucking white, furries get covered in blood and be terrifying, and they finally gave it to me, and they did it well.
Yeah. My favorite. Hannah wasn't a bad kill because, God, she sucked so bad, and just seeing her get run over a tractor was pretty cool. The little chunk of tit flopping around was kind of okay, funny, okay, whatever. But yeah, the best kill is Brian at the end with the not Brian. Wait, Brian. Party's Jack. Jack in that stupid fucking fight. I can't.
At least it ended it.
Yeah, at least it fucking ended.
At least it ended that fucking.
Thank God, but yeah,
ridiculousness.
Brian the Chainsaw is gotta be the best fight or best kill of the movie.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on to odds and ends.
Just when you thought it was over, here comes the odds and ends.
All right, this will go relatively quickly because there's not a whole lot on this movie. Ratings: IMDb gives it a 4.5 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes, it's not even on the site at all.
Yeah.
And Amazon gives it a 2.9 out of 5.
Ooh.
So just under the 3 mark.
Yeah, if you're not hitting 3 on Amazon, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah. Plot keywords, none, which blew my mind. I thought for sure panties would be on there.
Maybe I thought the furries would be like furry.
Maybe furries just aren't on IMDb movie lovers that much. But maybe the panty lovers just haven't seen. Panties would definitely be a nope. No
there
panties.
Just haven't been enough. Furries.
There hasn't been enough exposure in the furry
Community.
and panty world yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trivia facts. I couldn't find anything. It's really independent. It's 4 years old now, but I guess it's just so really nothing on it. So
it's an indie horror.
Yeah.
Film.
But surprisingly, however, it had none of that. We do get to play the budget game.
Shit.
Time for Aaron to blow his wad with the budget game.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that. It's something. So Aaron, what is your guess for the budget of the 2016 independent Furry Nights?
Shot in the woods, so you know it's gonna be nothing of a budget. You had some decent lighting, and they didn't say. I don't know if I call
flashlights decent lighting.
No.
Right.
I've already talked about it.
know.
The way they used the lighting, I thought was very good. I liked it. I thought the lighting, whoever did the lighting, fucking nailed it. Good on them, and they had good cinematic shots. Horrible actors, and I don't know if you know this or not, and correct me if I'm wrong. It seemed like often a lot of the actors and actresses weren't sharing the same screen time with people in the furry masks. So our, Hannah, Jack, Brian, Mark, the other, Maggie and the other chick, were at times the furries also would put on the furry costumes. Now I know Mr. Fox was Mr. Fox and he was his own person. Or were the furries actual people?
Maddie.
Did she double?
Maddie doubled as Poodle once, I think. But the other girls, I don't think that. Maddie was credited as one of the Poodle stand-ins, but most of the furries were their own people, and they were recycled a lot. A lot of the same people played, like Lion, who got shot in the first. He also played, I think, Teddy Bear or something like that. But Maddie, I knew Maddie was at one point in the Poodle outfit for something.
Okay, so 20 $20,000.
You know what? Close. Fuck it. I'll give you the win. It's big. We've had a break. I'll give you the win. Budget $15,000.
Hey, yeah.
So, that's good. I'll give you that one.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Yeah. My first instinct was 10. I'm like, you know what, man? Mine just like maybe.
Yeah, you get that.
Juice it up a little bit.
Yeah, we got to get how much it costs. Like I said, they're not getting their deposit back on those rented costumes. They ruined those furry costumes. So, all right,
$1,000. It's like $1,000 costume.
Yeah, come on. Let's move on to 5-star reviews.
At the end of this day, one shall stand, one shall fall.
Good versus bad. Right versus wrong. Light versus dark. In the end, when the dust settles, who will be left standing after Mortal Kombat combat?
All right, now 5-star reviews from Amazon. 23 total reviews on Amazon.
Wow.
30% are 5-star, with 37% 1-star reviews. 5-star. First up, Poodle Lover. I finally found myself while watching this movie. That's how it opens.
Huh.
This was the most introspective, transformative experience I have ever had while watching a movie. I have reached my final form. I am a fury. Roar! 5 stars.
Okay.
From Amelia Fox. I can say without a doubt that this movie may not have the best actors in the fursuit. Okay, the grammar's horrible. May not have the best actors in. This is the fursuits are pretty cheap, but in my opinion, I still find it to be pretty good. 5 stars.
Okay.
So, from Power. If you love The Strangers, you will probably like this movie. This is a fun and horrifying good movie. 5 stars.
Nah.
Yeah. Amazon customer. Furry Nights is a fun-filled, terrifying adventure. Hilarious, scary, and surprisingly moving. Loved it. 5 stars. Moving. From another customer. Watch this with the lads for Halloween movie night. Best movie night ever. 5 stars. And lastly, from Joseph A. Maili? This movie spits bears. D-I-S.
This movie spits bears.
S-P-I-T-Z spits bears. B-A-A-R-S. This movie spits bears. Bars? I don't know.
Cool.
That's his review. All right. And then the 1 star. Let's look at the other side of this coin. From RJ. Here are some decent and some horrible parts of this movie, but mostly it's horrible. 1 star. From Woo! Those are not even furries or furry suits. Those are mascots and crappy Halloween costumes. At least try to make some effort, cheap and crappy movie. Try educating yourself about subcultures before making a movie about it. 1 star. Ooh, someone's a furry and a little sensitive.
A furry sympathizer.
Yeah. You know what? I understand if you're furry, but hey, this is the first movie I've really seen about a furry, so I'd be like, hey, furry's getting some love. Hey, all right, I get behind that. It might not be right, but it's a small subculture. But still, somebody pushed a button there. Struck a nerve. From Michelle. Like I said before, and perhaps we'll say again, if I watch another like this, that's the name of her review, by the way. Then the review itself is, the only reason to watch this is a few beers, a bit of ditch, and some Cheetos. Watch until the beer goes flat, the ditch is gone, and the Cheetos become a log, so that smell you smelled when watching becomes real.
Damn.
Yeah.
Weird.
So I'm guessing ditch is weed, and eat and do the Cheetos become a shit log?
Yeah, I got the shit log part, but I just don't know what ditch is.
Yeah. All right.
Fucking 40 years old in the Midwest. I don't know what these fucking kids are talking about anymore.
Ditch. Derek M. I wanted a silly, ridiculous take on furries, and this is just more sad than anything else. The costumes aren't anywhere close to actual fursuits.
Whoa.
But are instead cheap Halloween costumes, which even furries find creepy.
Again, that's another one.
Yeah, I know. That's why I wrote these down. When one of them are shot, splatter hits the camera lens, and they still use it unclean in other shots. It's a lazy excuse of a campy horror movie, possibly a stab at furries. 1 star. And the last 2 here from Amazon customer. Note to filmmakers on Amazon. Please don't review a film as a group of teenagers when it is obvious they are college students in your tag review. I don't know what the fuck that means. Just an awful film. No jump and scare. Awful acting even for an independent. And last of all, do not, all caps and bold, compare this to The Strangers. That was a great, true-to-life, scary movie. I agree the second Strangers Prey at Night was nothing but a slasher film and did no justice to the original. This one is a total snooze fest. Good to watch if you have insomnia and just a total waste of bandwidth. So that guy actually read this other review and had a review of his own.
Give him the fucking business. Don't you dare compare.
Don't you dare.
Jesus.
And lastly, from B Marble. Furry Nights tells the story of a man who identifies as a white wolf named Mr. Fox. He's the leader of a pack of furries who are having the worst summer of their lives. 2 of their friends have been murdered by drunken idiots with guns, but since they're part of a misunderstood and I'm not even going to denigrated subculture, they can't pursue justice through normal channels.
Denigrated?
Oh, you misspelled then. Yes. Okay.
Sure, go with denigrated.
Yeah, but totally misspelled. But the way it's spelled is almost very racist. I'm not saying that word. D-N-word id.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm not reading that.
Denigrated. Denigrated.
Yeah, but it totally misspelled. So anyway.
No wonder you were like, pause.
Yeah.
I'm like, you usually nail this
I know, that's
stuff.
like,
and I'm like, why is he having such a hard time with this word?
I'll show it to you afterwards.
Okay.
So they can't pursue justice through normal channels without having their life choices fall under scrutiny and being accused of having some responsibility in the attacks. What are you doing out there dressed like that? What do you think would happen? In parentheses, question mark. After a long night of soul searching and finally reaching his breaking point, Mr. Fox makes a brave decision to lead his fellow survivors in a revenge-fueled killing spree to get vengeance for their murdered companions and strike back against society for, there's that word again,
denigrated.
Denigrating their sexual preferences. Nah, I'm just kidding. It's a god-awful dumpster fire about some stupid teenagers going out in the woods to get drunk, get laid, and make a student film, and then one of them shoots a guy in a teddy bear costume who he mistook for a real bear because, I don't know, script said so, I guess. And then the furries show up and kill everyone, which I couldn't even feel bad about since all the non-furry characters are so trite and boring, and the furry characters are at least seem like they were trying to have some fun with a ridiculous premise. 1 star. That's the best review, man.
That's a pretty good review.
Yeah. So there's, all right, that's Furry Nights, guys. Aaron, that's it. We're done. It's cool. We're not completely done, but like, hey, we're back. You know,
we're back, man.
Final review, final thoughts on this. So, what final thoughts on Furry Nights?
It's our first movie that we've done in 2020 that you and I have done in 2020.
Yeah, you didn't do Intruder.
I did the question. I did the fan question.
Yeah, but this is the first movie.
Yeah,
you didn't do Intruder.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, it took you a month and a half. Jeez. Anyway, final thoughts on Furry Nights.
So bad it's scary.
So bad it's scary.
So bad it's scary. But I gotta. I can't just leave it hanging like that. Just give it a like and throw in the garbage because Mr. Fox was cool. I'm sorry, but he was fucking cool.
Yeah.
He looked cool. I liked the way he moved. He was violent. He actually was fucking scary.
Mm-hmm.
He was a scary character.
Yeah.
But he was also had like sympathetic moment. Like he loved his furries.
He was the leader of the furries. His pack, man.
Yes, he loved his pack. And the other character, like, and that was, I didn't quite poo poo on like the different looks of the furries. I was just like, whatever. I don't understand it. I'm just gonna let it go.
Yeah.
And you know what? I would have liked it more if it was the furries who are, because we even talked about it. Those psychopaths fucking shot one and chopped him up and threw him in a lake, and now it's the revenge of the furries killing,
It's basically a furry version of I Spit on Your Grave or Last House on the Left or something like that. It's like, this the couch kids are the bad guys.
Yes.
This really is a furry. That very last review, I loved it so much because that's really what the movie is. It's like Mr. Fox. They're innocent in this.
And it is scary. It is weird. Furries make people uncomfortable. It's a misunderstood subculture. It's very strange. It's very odd, and people often fear what they don't understand.
Yep.
And I don't understand it either. But at the same time, like whatever, I don't care.
That's why I would love if any furry actually out here is. I would love for you to contact us at our email. So bad it's scary at gmail.com.
But it was a good really, it's not a bad concept.
No.
It's not a bad concept at all. But it just couldn't decide if it was being serious. And I like when we talked about it because there were moments when he was talking about the boob shot and his Hitchcock shot. I thought it was going for humor. But then when you were talking about it, you're saying they didn't do a good job of showing him descent into madness. I was like, oh, maybe that's what they were going for. Maybe they just should have emphasized that a little bit more. Maybe that could have been a little more powerful. So I let it slide then. I was like, okay, well, then I'm going to let it slide. Maybe that's what it was. Also with Brian, when he snaps, again, maybe they could have showed him descending a little bit, not being able to handle. Maybe they should have showed him getting rejected more. And he's maybe like an incel kind of guy who's never had sex with anybody. And then maybe that would excuse his snap. Okay, so maybe I can let that slide. I can still hold on the movie and say I can maybe pull a little bit of something out of this turd bowl. Maybe I can pull out a little gem. Maybe there's enough to make it so bad it's good. But then when the fucking boxing gloves come out and he says kangaroo kick and he won't stop talking like this the whole time, that's when it just fuck you,
Oh my God. That scene, I just remembered. Do you remember back in the 90s? I think it was on Sega. It may have been on Nintendo too. Remember there was a fighting game. I think it was called Brutal Fury, where you were basically animal. It was a Mortal Kombat, but there was the animals.
I had that game.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's what, there was a Kung Fu Rabbit.
Brutal Paws of Fury.
Brutal Paws. That was it. Like, that's what that scene was. That's what, it was a kangaroo versus a fucking wolf in a goddamn video game fight. That's what that was.
And they missed it.
Yeah.
They missed it. And I really like the Mr. Fox character. And honestly, if you could take Mr. Fox out of that movie and put him into a serious dark slasher, I'm in. I like that character. He looks fucking scary.
Yeah.
And his presence, the way he moved, fucking good job.
But
fuck the movie.
Okay. I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna say So Bad It's Scary. At first, I was like, I'm like, for So Bad It's Good, but it's just, no. So Bad It's Scary because of everything same reasons you said. The premise, I agree, is good. I liked the premise. I wish it would have been executed better. They were all over the place. I wish they would have picked a direction and stuck with it. If they wanted to go slapstick comedy spoof style, then be that from the very fucking beginning. Be like fucking, I don't want to say Pork Chop, but be like, God, what was one we did? It was a spoof. It wasn't that bad. Terror Bloodfart Lake or something like that. Okay. Be campy, be silly, be stupid from the very beginning and own it.
Set the mood.
Set the mood with that. But don't start off so dark and so serious and then just flip a fucking switch and go do a complete 180 to nonsense land. And then it just makes it. But I agree with you. Mr. Wolf or White Wolf, Mr. Fox looked great. That mask looked great. That, like I said, when he jumps out of the darkness to get Jessica at the beginning, made me jump like, oh God, that's terrifying. It looks great.
Yeah.
He's a great character, great look. I agree. Love to see him in something else. I just hated that they couldn't pick a direction. I also hate the fact that the characters become, like you said, they get to the point where the characters that we're supposed to be following, or I guess maybe rooting for, are really the bad guys. Except for Maddie's the only character that I like in this movie, except for Mr. The furries become sympathetic and like, they have every right to be out here chasing these guys down and like, they've murdered 3 of them already. Like they shot 3 of their friends for nothing, for no reason, and then chopped one of them up. It's like, it's just, it's terrible. It's not. And that was it's just not worth it. It's not worth it because it starts off good and then I can't get over how they ended. And like I said, if they were to show Jack descending into madness and becoming crazy, they need to do a better job of that or follow through with it more. Because after that one scene, like, oh my God, he's with the boob shot and he's going
and
crazy.
He's out of furry character. He's not talking about the furry.
Yeah,
he's talking like
losing
normal.
he's kind of losing himself because he's going like, oh my got my shot. He's getting like that.
I got the Hitchcock.
Yeah,
shot.
he's losing it. But then they drop that angle too. I'm like, oh, he's gonna send the Madison and go crazy. And then he's right back to and right back to being himself. They don't go anywhere with it, and nothing is completed. It's terrible. Even though it's only an hour long, worth watching because it's so short. I'm like, it's not. It's not. I hate to say because it's a good concept. I really wanted to like this. It was something different. And I like different. Especially
again, it was a good premise because even
great premise.
If you made it dark and scary, and you kept, but when you have furries, that almost like makes it a little more twisted.
Yeah, because you're taking something like the cartoon, innocent and fun and childish and turning into killers. But that's fine if you're gonna do that. Make them like evil furries from the very, very beginning. Like, don't have them as like innocent. Like if they're dancing around that campfire. Maybe they're dancing on that campfire, and then there's like a human on a spit over the flame that they're roasting, like the hunter from earlier. Maybe he's roasting on the fire or something, or not. He didn't shoot them. They need to be evil from the get go, not just innocent people who are like, oh, they got shot, because then it gives them
they're sympathetic.
Sympathetic, yeah. So anyway, I don't know. We're ranting. This episode is way longer than the movie is. So anyway, we're happy to be back. We're glad to be back. Thank you for sticking with us. I hope you guys are back too and come along with us. So yeah, that's it. In the meantime, we'll be back hopefully next week. I'm not going to promise because with Aaron's baby, who knows what's going on. But we're hopefully next week with another movie. And so in the meantime, guys, you know the deal. Watch more horror movies and remember to always keep it tight.
Keep it tight.